Hello and welcome to the Holes in Their Story podcast, where guests and I find out about the biggest mysteries and theories in the world. I'm Ryan, your host, and today we have a big one on the hook, so let's reel it in and get into it. Area 51, one of the biggest secrets among the US government in today's world. Many of these secrets have been supposedly debunked and called a hoax by the government without any kind of evidence to back. We'll be looking into some of the most famous areas in the overall case behind this airbase, and perhaps even find the aliens locked behind their gates. Firstly, we have a clear-cut timeline for all of the major events and theories from the Area 51's history. About 1945, the construction of the Area 51 base. 1947, the alien autopsy was conducted, a video where they would show an autopsy on what seems like an extraterrestrial being. 1949, the first UFO sightings in Nevada. 1955, a project called the U-2 began test flights, a spy plane that was the fastest that the US government had owned for the next 7 years. 1957, a jump in air and space technologies was made from the US just months after the space race began. 1959, the Reno Evening Gazette made a report on UFOs that were too fast to be any kind of plane. 1959, the Oxcart program was founded, a program where they would make a specific kind of plane that was specifically built to be faster than any Russian craft. In the 1970s, people stopped reporting on the UFO sightings because of their everyday occurrence in Nevada. 1913, the CIA recognized the existence of the Area 51 base publicly. In 2013, the George Washington University gained classified documents from the base on the U-2 and some other planes that they made. But not to the people who made the plans for the plane or the plane itself, meaning that during the construction process, multiple things were left out, meaning that there is a possibility that they were using alien technology to more or less speed up the construction and their planes in general. 2013, a man comes out and says that he faked the alien autopsy video, which was never proved. However, the man was found to be insane, and later it was debunked that this man was telling the truth. 2019, trucks and an unknown plane left Area 51 a few weeks before the Storm Area 51 event was planned. 2019, the Area 51 raid commenced, where it was a 4-day party followed by numerous pictures of the airbase was taken before they were told to leave, or they would be forcefully kicked out of the base against their will. After a look into these major events around the base, we can investigate some of the people who spoke up about the extraterrestrials inside of Area 51, and how they either worked on the UFOs or the aliens themselves. First up, we have Bob Lazar. He was the first of many who opened the floodgates to multiple conspiracies about the airbase to come to light, one of which was the popular alien theories, specifically the reason behind America's advanced progression in space and air technologies in comparison to other countries, and the popular alien autopsy picture that was debunked years ago by the cameraman who stays fully anonymous for some reason. Along with Bob, who helped all the theories, we also have one of the most interesting videos on the subject, this being the famous Boyd Bushman deathbed video. This man gathered evidence from the right-hand man of Area 51 throughout the past 50 or so years, and Oppenheimer, someone who was known to go to the airbase to discuss multiple plans on aircrafts and weapons before the bombing of Nagasaki and Hiroshima. He also managed to talk to the director of Area 51 base over the course of about 70 years, sharing it publicly just weeks before his death. Coincidence? I think not. All of this, I would like to get into my personal hypothesis and the events of how Area 51 operates in the background for the past 70 years. Firstly, we have the creation of the airbase, made towards the end of World War II. Now, this was meant to be an aircraft creation base, where they would take a number of highly effective and fast jets made for superior air combat compared to other countries. Then, toward the next few years, they didn't make any progress, which leads them to gaining a spacecraft that will help them towards their goal of making these superior aircrafts that crashed into the Nevada desert. Then, after experimenting with its technologies, they found that it could reach insane speeds. Then, they would use simple versions of this technology that they reverse engineered in future aircrafts like the Lockheed II, the Lockheed A-12, the D-21, and the F-117, to name a few, which all have unusual designs, some looking like they have another plane or object inside of their plane, almost like they added the spacecraft as a part of their plane. But of course, operation of the spacecraft wasn't enough. They needed the aliens too. They began operating on the aliens inside of the Area 51 base to see the evolutionary structure, to see how these aliens adapted to survive the insane speeds of space travel. Then, of course, multiple different leaks came out, and the public wanted to know more than ever about what was going on inside of Area 51. So, the public does what the public wants and arranges an event to storm the base and find out the mystery behind the aliens. Days before the event, several trucks left the base and took with them any evidence, leaving us in the dark. We have reached today, and there is still a lot unknown about the base. However, with every day, the government is being pushed to tell us about aliens and Area 51 and their interaction with Earth. And with a little hope, we can find out about them together as a planet. This is Ryan Weber with the Holes in Their Story podcast, signing off.